But we start in Kenya, and Al-Shabab fighters have ambushed a bus and killed 28 passengers. Now, this attack took place near the town of Mandera. That's close to the Kenyan border with Somalia. The bus was on its way to Nairobi. Witnesses speak of the gunmen ordering the passengers off the bus and talking to them to find out who were Muslims. They then apparently killed anyone who wasn't able to prove that they were Muslim. Police say that 19 men and 9 women were killed.
The attackers, who were heavily harmed, later fled towards the border between Kenya and Somalia. I've already ordered for a combined security team to be able to carry out a major operation and a crackdown of the attackers. I want to assure the people and the residents of Mandera that security will be enhanced and that more officers will be deployed in that particular area.
Well, Hamza Mohamed is a producer for Al Jazeera. He's here with me now. And Hamza, you've spoken to Al-Shabab, or its representative at least. Who exactly did you speak to and what did they have to say?
I spoke to the official spokesman, Sheikh Ali Dere, who told me they did the attack that happened in the early hours of today. What we know, there were about 60 passengers on board that the bus, all of them all civilians. So I started by asking him why Al-Shabab did this attack.
What happened in Mandera today we did for revenge for what the non-believer government has done to innocent Muslims. They were attacked in places of worship and in their homes. They invaded the Muslim land of Somalia and in Mombasa. The duty of every Muslim is to come to the rescue of fellow Muslims who've been wronged. For what the non-believers did, it's our duty to take revenge. They invaded our Muslim land and killed innocent Muslims. They're now doing the same in Mombasa. That's the reason for the attack.
So, Martina, we know most of the passengers who were killed were shot in the back of the head. We know Al-Shabab also separated Muslims from non-Muslims before they shot the passengers. So I asked Sheikh Ali Dere why they separated the Muslims and non-Muslims, and if they did.
We separated the Muslims from the non-believers. We killed the non-believers. We did not touch the Muslims because they're the ones we're fighting for. The Muslims in Mandera and the Muslims in Somalia are the same to us, and they're the ones we're fighting to defend.
Officials in Kenya and also officials in Somalia claim Al-Shabab is losing a lot of territory, as we know, and they are also on the back foot. So they say this latest attack on civilians is an act of desperation. So I asked Sheikh Ali what he had to say to that.
We attack the Kenyan troops in Somalia daily, and we'll attack the non-believers in Kenya day and night. They're the same to us. They voted for the Crusader government that invaded our Muslim land. They're the ones who closed the mosques in Mombasa. The ones that we killed worked for the Kenyan government. This is a war between Muslims and non-believers. God tells us to fight non-believers. They'll not be allowed to take buses while our mosques are closed. They're not going to be celebrating Christmas while our mosques are closed. They're the ones that are financially supporting the soldiers in Muslim lands. If they want peace, they should withdraw their troops from Somalia.
Well, that was a very interesting talking to the spokesman for Al-Shabab, but it is a clear indication, isn't it, that they've decided that with the loss of territory, they are going to hit at civilians, because post-Westgate, of course, the attack on the shopping centre in the middle of Nairobi, there seem to have been more and more of these kinds of attacks.
What we see Al-Shabab doing is they're moving away from just attacking military targets into more civilians, like shopping malls. So when I spoke to Sheikh Ali Dere, I asked him why are they attacking civilians, and his response was they are all the same to us. So long as they're not Muslims, they're all the same to us. So what we also know is the KDF is not sitting back. Earlier today, they did an airstrike in a town north of the port city of KIMAIYO in a place called El-Ade, but we don't know the casualties.
OK, Hamza Mohamed, thank you very much indeed for taking us through that. Hamza Mohamed, Al Jazeera's producer there.